Technics Young. How's it going, Pira?
Pretty good, Riv. It's summer, so it of course means the weather is heating up, and so is the competition here in Europe.
Does feel good. Another week of action coming up. First up, however, I want to talk about the spring split MVP for the European LCS, Forg1ven.
Ooh, don't you mean Owen Forg1ven? Right now, this guy is having a whole lot of troubles fitting in with the new Gambit squad. At this point, last split, when he was with SK Gaming, he hadn't died yet. He had insane numbers put up every week. And right now, he's really on the lower end of the table, only 1.4 KDA or so. And his team overall has really not been helping all that much. Gambit are struggling at the bottom right now, and they're really just trying hard to find that first win. On the other hand, they were starting to come together a little bit as a team. We saw that play well against Fnatic. And of course, they've had a few more easier matches, at least easier on paper coming up this week. So expect them to, keep your fingers crossed, hopefully pick up a win.
So until they get their first win, you're saying these guys are at the bottom of the food chain. Why don't you go ahead and take us up that food chain?
Yeah, well, go ahead. Let's start at the bottom because that's how it tends to go, right? At the bottom, you've got Gambit Gaming. They're swimming around there with SK still hunting for that first win. Of course, you move up a little bit, and then you get your small fish. These are Elements, Roccat, Wolves. These are the guys that eat the minnows. They've really only so far been able to beat those two teams, and they're looking to try their luck with the bigger fish who come up next. That's H2K, that's Giants, Unicorns of Love. These guys are 3-1. They've only lost to the top teams in the league. And speaking of those, let's move it on up because these are the real sharks. You're talking Fnatic and, of course, Origin, the newcomers who have torn everyone to shreds.
And speaking of sharks, someone has been devouring everyone in the top lane, that someone being Soaz.
Absolutely. This guy is insane. He's been rocking just about everybody he plays against. And this is in a league that's, stacked with mid laners. You've got Huni in there. You've got Forg1ven. And he right now has the highest KDA out of any one of these top laners, contributing a ton of damage. I believe it's something like 7.9. And he just really puts up big numbers. But don't be too sure of yourself, especially if you're starting him in fantasy. As we see from some of his more colorful antics, he doesn't care about your points.
He does not, and that whole team is looking good. I guess sometimes you got to step back and take a look at the competition to really start doing well. Thank you very much, Pira. It sounds like you're going to be needing a bigger boat over there in Europe. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Try to stay afloat until then, Riv.